Hello. Hi, Lilian. How are you?
Hi, Martin. I'm well, and how are you? How is Melbourne?
Yes, good actually. We're going into winter and you guys are going into spring, isn't it?
We're already into summer. Well, it's part spring, but it's
This-
more summer, really. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had good weather this weekend, so I can't really complain.
No, that's good. That's good. I mean, anything to do with weather, if you can get it good, then that's something to be glad to have, isn't
Yes, it is definitely. So,
it?
how you been? I know we've been talking for a while now, haven't we? Like I know we've recently talked a lot, but we've met a while ago. It was it last year?
It was last year. Yes, we met on the authors mastermind group.
Yes.
Yeah, and
It
we just
seems like
connected.
such a long time ago since we've done that.
I know, but it's just that instant connection that we had, which was so amazing, isn't it?
Yes, I know. So we thought for our audience here, we wanted to come live to kind of introduce ourselves. So I've been so blessed knowing you. So I'll leave that to you to kind of give us a bit of who you are, and I'm sure most of the people on here know you already, but just a short introduction of yourself, I would say.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Martin. I really appreciate, being online with you, sharing our lives together. As you heard, this is something that we are doing to introduce ourselves. My name is Lilian Musa, dialing in from Bristol, southwest of England. I am an author, an entrepreneur, a mother, and a grandmother. And my desire and passion is to be able to touch the lives of couples and singles who are maybe finding it hard to juggle life and work or business or whatever they are doing, but really coming side by side with them, showing them, the direction to be able to generate, an extra income working from home. That is the basis of our business. So basically, we've got a model that is duplicatable, that is global, that is online. So you can literally plug in as and when you've got a moment to do it. And you, Mati, coming on board has really made life so exciting, because I'm looking forward to this journey with you as my business partner, touching lives and changing lives together. And, I really admire the wealth of wisdom that you have. And I know you're going to bring a lot to the table. So I want to hear more about what you think and where you think we are going to go.
Yes, thank you, Lilian. Like the first time I've met you, like I said, it seems like a long time ago now, but the first time I met you, I reached out to you because the way you are and who you are and what you have achieved already like blows my mind sometimes. And I kind of got that connection straight away, and I knew we had to be together, and we have to be part of something. Like I knew that inside. So thank you for having me as your business partner, because I think I'm the one lucky in here. so
No,
so I do
we both
appreciate that.
lucky. We both lucky. When
So where I'm from, so I'm dialing from Melbourne, Australia. It's about 6:30 now in the evening, and I'm originally from Mauritius. Came here in Australia about in 1996, so it's a while ago. I'm turning 45 in September. I'm saying my age because it is 5 years ago. I was that person who needed something different in my life. Like I have two wonderful children. I have a wonderful husband. I was a single mom once upon a time, about 9 years ago. And I worked hard all my life, like since university up to now. And who I want to help are these people like me, these professionals like me who needed, who has, I have all the education in the world, and I wanted to make my life better. At the same time, I've reached that point throughout the years of working as a chartered accountant where it didn't fulfill me anymore. It was not enough for me anymore. And I want to reach out to these women who can relate to that, or these professionals who can relate to that, because, you know, I couldn't find that leadership anymore that I could respect in employment. My business, I had to be employed because I have kids and I have private fees and I have all this to pay and mortgage and everything else. But I wanted a job that I really, really could relate to, and I couldn't find it. So I was jumping from one job to the next, to the next, to the next, from one customer to the next. And like I could not find my place. I couldn't find my home. And as much as I lived a very plentiful life and I have everything around me, I didn't have the fulfillment inside. I knew I had to do something different. So I am a published author soon. My book is coming out at the end of April. And I'm looking forward to that next level of collaboration, working together, team management, leadership together. This is where I can see our business going forward. And I'm like I said, I'm so thankful that I'm here with you talking about this, because it means a lot for me to be able to serve these people who are exactly where I was and lead them into that path that I saw, that we see together moving forward.
Wow.
So I'm amazed, because I know you are a great business leader, Lilian, and I know that you have so much background behind you, and I have so much to learn from you. So I do appreciate you being here with me today.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, I'm blessed to have you, but I always say you attract what you become.
Yeah,
And I really believe that, people's paths don't cross for no reason. And I think for us, it was a divine connection. It was the right time, the right moment. And, I'm really, really, blown away when I think of how this thing has turned out and where we are heading for, because I'm working from the end and coming back, and I can see the bigger scope of what's going
yeah,
to happen as we journey together and bring other people on board, helping each other to grow and become who we are meant to be. Because a lot of times we stay in our comfort zone because we are scared to go onto the other side. Yet your
yeah,
blessing is on the other side of your fear. So until you step out of your fear, you are not going to, get to your maximum potential. And yet there's so much potential inside of us. Like you are such a go-getter. You've got so much inside of you, and you can't just live with it inside of you, because in a job market you can't just give it enough, because you are controlled by who your boss is. They will tell you what they want dished out, and they will tell you what not to dish out. So you've
yeah,
got those parameters already set up for you, and you can't work outside those parameters.
yeah,
Whereas when you want real freedom, you've got to be in a space where you can do what you believe is what you're called to do. Because when you've got a calling, the calling has got to be bigger than you.
yes,
But a lot of us, we suffer from the fear of loss of instant gratification. We come from a
yeah,
place where we were told, go to school, get good grades, get a degree, go and get a good job, a good company. While that model worked for a while and
yeah,
gave people that security of a paycheck, Today, we are talking different things. The economy has changed drastically. The world we live in needs to be remodeled. And it takes the likes of you and I to step out in faith. Never mind that we are the best to solve the problem, but each one of us, if they have got the desire to be a participant in this space where we want to change our world, then we've got to step out of our comfort zones, not worry about these big titles, because I know a lot of people with big offices, nice titles, with an empty bank account. So
Yes.
really, you can't even save your own family. And the worst bit is that while you've got that title, it's not willable. If you
Yeah.
get fired out of the job or if you pass away, your kids cannot inherit
Yeah.
whatever you were doing, no matter how flamboyant it looked like. So
Yeah.
really, the network marketing space, the reason why I love it, it has got the power of creating that legacy that will live on forever. It will create
Yes.
that residual income that no other spaces they've been able to create. There's a myth out there where people think, oh, it's a scam, it's this, they call it all sorts of names. But really, it's out of ignorance. I've learned to understand that when people are ignorant, they will call anything so that at least they've got an excuse, they've got a name that they've given something. So you being a professional who is coming from the corporate world, earning over 140,000 Australian
Yeah.
dollars a year, I mean, people think they must be thinking you're mad. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually think you're mad. How do you feel when people respond to you like that?
Yes, and especially like family members. They don't like you get I have like like an identity as an accountant. Like I'm an accountant.
Yeah.
It's like I cannot get out of that identity. Like for me personally, it was hard coming out of it because I have been an accountant for 23 years. But being on the other side and bringing my knowledge and my experience with me into a new business, I think I have the advantage because I can actually bring my experience with me, creating something that I want to create and something that I can leave for my children in the future. Like, so I don't see it as giving away my 23 years. It's actually an addition, and it's a good addition. And I'm like, I do coaching, I do business coaching as my profession as well. But how business coaching works with the marketing and building the team and being together as leaders to be able to drive that forward. So, yes, so for me, I've kind of moved on, but I think it takes time for others to come on board, especially family. I find like I was telling you the joke that my mom keeps saying, what do you do? Like, what do you do? Like, I'm 45, right? Like, what do you do? So, it is, but I believe in what I'm doing. I believe what we are doing. I believe that I'm doing it the right way with the right tools. And so this is something important for me to do it with what I have already inside. Like you said, we have all the resources within ourselves.
That's true.
And there is enough around in the world, isn't it? Like
Yes,
for all of us to have everything.
exactly, exactly. Well, I really, really, admire your courage, your decision to be able to step out of that comfort zone to, put down
Yeah.
all those accolades that you achieved in your corporate space, because you were knowing that you're going to go into a space where people won't understand what you're doing. They won't even know what title to give you. And it's not just you, all of us experience that.
Yeah.
People wonder what we are doing. When you say you work from home, doing what? They
Yeah.
think it's whatever that is. I mean, I
Yes.
was listening to one of the leaders in our business who He's got like 3 degrees, and he was in the corporate world and he doing really well. But in the same company that we are in, he then realized that no, what they are doing on the field as agents is better than what I am doing. So he then resigned and started being an agent. And his dad was saying, so what do I tell people now? You were this high person in this company. Now
Yeah.
you're going to be an agent. What do I tell people? And he
Yeah.
says the joke is he was putting 7,000 US dollars into his mom's account every month for many years. But they
See.
didn't think, how does he make so much money?
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
How does he make
Exactly.
so much money? And yet, no, the father was worried about the title. He
Yes.
can't tell his friends that my son is so and so. And I think we need to educate people to get over that bump. And when they
Yeah.
go over to the other space and see what's there, what's available, then they will begin to appreciate. This is a business that is the single a business model that creates many, many millionaires, if not
Yes.
multi-millionaires. I've not
Yes.
seen a person sitting behind a chair, earning millions. Okay, you can, maybe you can if you're one of those who are really high flyers in the very, very big organizations, but it's for a season. If they tell you to go, you leave that paycheck, and you
Yes.
can't
It's
you
gone.
can't ask your son or your daughter to come and sit in the same chair, because that's not
Yeah.
their business. And
Yeah.
even if it was their business, the children might not even understand how to navigate in that space. Whereas the leveraging that we have in network marketing, we are bouncing off each other. We are bringing a whole load of wealth from so many of us who have done so many different things. And together, when we come together, we can create something bigger, better, and that can live on forever. And the beauty being that if I'm no longer there and I've created and built the foundation, this thing will carry on doing it on its
Yeah.
own when I'm not there. And my family will benefit from it. And not only that we do it for our families, we want to change our world. I mean, I hear you talk about your charities. Tell us a little bit more about the charities that you support.
So I have a charity called Empowerment in Mauritius, where I come from, and this charity, we there's 5 of us, including my husband. We help students to go through, like Mauritian students who do not have any ways and means to actually pay for their education because it's very expensive. And can you imagine going to England from Mauritius and paying in pounds, it's
Mm.
times, I don't know, 40, 50,
It's
it's
almost,
it's it's
yeah,
it's
impossible.
big.
Mm.
So we have one student that we're putting through school. He's at the university in Mauritius currently. He's to become a lawyer. So he's doing his prep work in Mauritius and to finish up in the UK. So I think he has a couple of years to go to the UK. So we actually funding his education. He comes from an amazing background, very poor background, but an amazing parents. And he has, like, he believes in God, and he believes in what life gave him so much that we chose him and he chose us at the end of the day, because he's exactly the person I visualize as who I wanted to help. So we sending him at school currently, and we have another 2 years to pay for him. So this is why this business that we're creating, this is my leverage. uh, this business that we're creating, I want it as big as it can ever be.
Wow.
We need the funding, and the funding is not to pay for my house. It's not to pay for it is for my kids in the future. But predominantly, why I'm doing it is to help these people, because education is number one. If
Wow.
I believe I need to educate and give to the people who can't afford that education.
Wow. That's
So
awesome.
this is where this business, it has to work as a team. It has to work where I believe if we all achieve our goals and we all make it happen, then my goal will be achieved.
Wow, that's amazing. That is so powerful. I mean, it's such an honorable goal to change someone's life, to give somebody an opportunity to be better, and even be able to help his or her family when he then achieves something
Yes.
through your help. And I mean, that is very fulfilling, because if you've got a goal that is so much attached to other people, I think that is such a fulfilling goal, because a lot of us, we make the money, and that money becomes our god. We can't think of anything except
Yeah.
to just load ourselves with more and more and more material. I mean, how many houses can you live in?
Yes.
How many cars can you drive? How
Yes.
many, I mean, you can go on holiday, but you can't go on
Yeah.
holiday every day. So
Yeah.
you really need to, money is meant to be a tool to
Yeah.
enable you to make a difference somewhere else. And I
Yes.
really believe that, if we all had that mindset, we will be looking for better ways of doing stuff so that we can change the lives of others. People don't get out of their jobs because they are very insecure. They feel that if I lose this job, I can't do anything else. But I
Yeah.
don't blame them. It's a mindset that has been drilled in us for many, many generations, because we were molded to work for somebody.
Yeah, like we stuck. Like I felt after a while when you're working and going through your career that you stuck in that environment where you can't get out because you have kids to pay, you have education, you have, all this, to a mortgage, a house, a car, and you can't get out of it. Like I was stuck. I
I know.
was stuck in that situation, but there is a way out. Like I would like to scream on top of all the houses and tell everyone that there is a way out of it. There is a way where you can have a life, you can earn the money, and you can be present in life instead of surviving.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, your story really, really touches me, because I see the passion. I see that you really want to make a difference in as many people as possible, and changing one life at a time. And that
Yes,
is my goal too. Hence the reason why we felt so connected, because
yes,
I think our why is the same. I mean, I've got grown up children, I've got grandchildren coming up. Really, so my responsibility as a parent, I feel I fulfilled. But there's more to life than just making sure that all your children are standing on their 2 feet and they can do
yeah,
their own thing. It's more than that. So now
yes,
my desire is to be able to, the one thing that has always burdened me is the way kids walk from their homes to a school
yes,
that is so far away to seek education. If I can help, especially in my local village where I came out of, to help with building a school, helping those kids to be able to access education nearby, that would be one thing that will really make me feel like my life has been well lived. Because if you are not living a life that's purpose driven and just wanting all these shiny things, because there are many shiny objects around us that we
there,
can all be fighting to get every day. But I've learned that, once you have had them, what else is there to do? I mean, in my
yes,
previous business, we had all the things that money could buy. But, I then lost it. It was a conventional model. I lost that. But I learned from that space that, material things don't really matter. What matters is the gift inside of you and the dream and vision that is placed inside of you. I've always wanted to be able to help somebody, to help. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, I
yep,
didn't know where. But at the right time, I saw this pathway opening, and I began to realize that this is the place I need to be, to grow myself, to grow my money, to be able to use that money to change someone else's life. So I'm really excited that we are now partnered and we are doing these things together. And thanks to technology, we are talking like we are in the same room, yet you are out there in Melbourne and I'm here in England. Had it
it's
not been
morning and night.
exactly, you are in the night time, and
Yeah,
morning time. But
yes,
it's amazing what you can do with the tools that we have got at our disposal. Let's
yes,
make use of them and change our world. And by the way, we didn't tell people that if we are using StreamYard, they need to accept StreamYard to be able to make comments. We didn't say that. Anyway, if
Yes,
you're
we
watching
didn't.
us, thank
Yes.
you for watching us. Because at the moment we can't see who is watching and who is not watching. But it's been a privilege and an honor to be able to, work with you, to start something together with you. And I mean, I know I'm going to learn a lot from you because you've got such a wealth of wisdom, that
I
is.
think we'll learn from each other, and thank you for your time. Thank you for the time that you've allowed to come up here, and like we'll learn from each other. We have all the training, like between yourself and myself, that we have so much to learn and so much to give.
Thank you.
So we in this together, and yes, thank you for your time tonight, Lilian.
Thank you very much for your time as well. It's my morning.
Yes. Have a very good day. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, thank you. Bye for now.
Bye. Bye for now.
Good day.